What's up, March? I guess this is your Kid Rose Chaos game by Devin Valentine, Gamer. We're gonna be up talking about some Final Fantasy VII stuff, some more theory, crafting from the Rebirth. By the way, this Sunday is gonna be my birthday, so I turned 33. That's good. But for my mental health and prosperity and stuff like that, I think April I'm not gonna upload anything. Probably not to TikTok, to YouTube. I'm gonna be taking a huge break because I need to get my mental health together. So this might be the last time you see me until, let's see, after April. So yeah, I want to make this a good, theory crafting video and a good conversation. Stand back from the Wutai War itself and everything that happened with the Wutai War, because this is where it's going to get very interesting. So stick around for that. So, this will go back to the Wutai War. Even before then, when a certain Zero-class soldier deserted after the Redonia War. The only thing that is crazy is that we don't know when, and maybe part 3 is going to cover this. We don't know when this certain soldier that we're talking about, defected and joined with Wutai. And this is where it's going to start. I think Suroof, Viceroy Suroof, is Sephiroth. Now hear me out. How am I gonna think this? Pretty much we never seen what Suroof looks like at all, or even through the whole game. But we know this, and this is gonna be spoiler. I'm gonna put a spoiler at the end of in the tag. But we know that Glenn is actually Sephiroth. Now, if Sephiroth is manipulating the black robes to be anybody and anyone, again, this is probably where we see Suroof. The only thing that's very contradictory is that when Glenn calls Suroof to the stage, you see nobody but the Invisible Man. What if the robe, degraded soldier robe, black robes, could also disappear as well? What we do know about Glenn is he was a Zero-class soldier who was Project Zero, the very, very first soldiers, very first set of soldiers. That was in the first Soldier game, and in Ever Crisis, in the Sephiroth story. Now, this makes a lot of sense, of course. Sephiroth was his team captain at age 14 during the Redonia War. After the Redonia War, we don't know what happened because we never got that chapter. Or if we did get that chapter, I need to go look it up on YouTube and watch it. But, because I'm not re-downloading the game. But we just know that Glenn has defected. We know Glenn has defected before Rufus eventually kills him. And I've made the theory. I made the theory before that that Rufus and Glenn were both Zero-class soldier cadets on different squads, because Glenn has his own squad. Now, when Yuffie mentions other ex-soldiers, I wonder if the other ex-soldiers that was with Glenn was Matt and Reyna. I think the girl's named Reyna. If it was the two you see in the mobile game. Because if it is, then that makes a lot of sense. But if they're all dead, they all have to be black robes. And the fact that you see Glenn in the black robe, and again, the big spoiler review that there's Sephiroth. Sephiroth could be at any place at any time as long as he can manipulate a black robe. Sephiroth could be your mom. Sephiroth could be the mayor. Anybody he wants. You manipulating the power of Genova cells. I've said the power of Genova is to turn into anybody she wants to turn to. She's a shapeshifter. That's how she was able to trick the Cetra and kill the Cetra within. Even with it took the humans and Cetra together to take her down. And if Sephiroth has her ability, especially this Sephiroth, this is what I call the Dirge of Cerberus Sephiroth. The Dirge of Cerberus timeline Sephiroth has all the abilities without needing to transform into its other forms. So, I think the plan for Glenn was to distract Rufus Shinra from finding Sephiroth. So Sephiroth can isolate Cloud, and Rufus won't be in the way. By using someone that really gets under Rufus's skin. The person that Rufus thought dead, Glenn. The one who knows about Rufus more than anybody else. Glenn Lodbrok. So, that plan is a distraction. By having Wutai and Shinra fight each other until they're both down. And then pretty much have it where he's standing on top. But again, remember, the real Glenn is dead. The real one got killed some time ago. So we know it's Sephiroth. That explains why the Mr. Murasaki murder happened. Maybe Glenroth turned himself to Rufus, ordered Shinra infantrymen to kill all the Wutai soldiers and Mr. Murasaki. And that's why we see Mr. Murasaki's body. It wasn't the monster that killed Murasaki. In fact, we were forced to believe it was a monster that got let out because the monster got let out right after the attack. It was by Glenroth. Or should I say, Suroof. Because I think Glenn and Viceroy Suroof could be the same person. Or they're both Sephiroth. Because they're both black robes. I know this is going to get crazy, but remember, Rebirth is... I love Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I love it. I defend it. I will stand for it, but I will be honest. There are sometimes it gave me more questions than answer. Even some of the material I don't understand, because this is definitely pulling the Kingdom Hearts syndrome where, everyone is Xehanort, everyone is Sora. And this is like that. But in a sense, this does make sense, because Sephiroth was able to manipulate Black Robes and OG as well. And that's how come they thought they were chasing Sephiroth, when in actuality, in OG, they were chasing Genova. In this case, Rufus is chasing what he believes to be Glenn. And then possibly Viceroy Suroof. But, again, we have not seen this Viceroy Suroof. The only thing that could connect Viceroy Suroof with Sephiroth is also the name too. The name kind of sounds similar. That'd be like if I wanted to disguise myself and spy on somebody, but I changed my name to Dominic or Derek or Dominique or any D name. It'd be, even with the disguise, it'd be easy to pick, because it'd be easy to pick out the suffix of it, or Deontay, because it sounds close. Especially the Deontay sounds close to the name Devin. Suroof, if you pay attention, is the first suffix is close to Sephiroth's name. He's not the Invisible Man. He clearly is Sephiroth, because the suffix right there, okay? The suffix right there, Suroof, Sephiroth, just added extra seven, but just instead, Suroof. It's, that's why they don't have no intelligence. This is a black robe that could turn invisible. And we never seen Suroof. But it's weird because Yuffie has seen Suroof as an actual person. So Suroof is a person, but a made up person. I think a made up person that made the Wutai government years ago. I remember when Tifa was asking Cloud, what did Sephiroth do in the 10 years, apart from the past and present? Well, we know now. He set the stage up. This Sephiroth has created an imaginary Viceroy by making a real physical body out of the black robes, named Suroof. Suroof has recruited Glenn Lodbrok, someone who's tired of Shinra and wants to see Shinra burn to the ground, which is very perfect. But you gotta remember, Rufus kills Glenn Lodbrok. You know. And if it goes back to the whole dream sequence in the mobile game where Sephiroth fights Glenn Lobrock, that fight never actually took place at all. Period. It was actually Rufus Shinra. We just don't know anything about that yet because they haven't released the chapter or I haven't seen the chapter. Either way, I still think it's Sephiroth that is Suroof. Because he could, if he could be Glenn, he's not always. And Glenn and Suroof wouldn't be together all the time, even though Glenn is Suroof's man for the job. You know, a political figure is not always with their military or or bodyguard or whatever at the time. You never see Sang and Rufus together all the time. In fact, when it comes to certain missions, he's with his own employees or by himself some of the time. So even sometimes with the director. Now, this is where I think it's Sephiroth. Besides the name and the suffix, I would imagine Suroof to look tall and slender and muscular like Sephiroth, but not wear the pauldrons and jacket. And instead of having silver hair, black hair, red eyes, probably make himself look like a Valentine if anything else. He probably look like Tifa or Vincent with his eyes. But you had to have someone that looks Asian. I think Viceroy Suroof will be a Wu-Tai version of Sephiroth because it would make sense. Though, because the thing is, Sephiroth's ego's that much that he would still keep semblance of himself. Remember, Sephiroth has a god complex already to begin with. I still think for a practical thing, it wouldn't work out practically because like I said, the name sounds too similar. But remember, people think Sephiroth's dead. They think after Nibelheim, Sephiroth is undoubtedly dead. They even lied in Shinra history on the news and saying that Sephiroth died a hero trying to protect Nibelheim, and said that fiends got out, burned the village out, and killed Sephiroth in battle, and memorialized him as a hero, even though really he was the one who did it. But Shinra knows the truth. Everybody at this point knows the truth. And within the 10 years, he could assume his identity as Suroof until Cloud emerges in Midgar. And then Suroof probably get word of Cloud in Midgar. And then Suroof disappears for a while. So it would make sense. And it could also be the reason why that I think it's possible Suroof is the one who sent Yuffie to Midgar to go find a materia that wasn't there. Probably to purposely fight the Sviets, Nero, and Weiss. Purposely knowing everything about that. I think it's possible Sephiroth could know about Deep Ground. I mean, he is the face of Soldier. He would know every Soldier program. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure he would know as much as President Shinra since Sephiroth was once the favorite. Sephiroth was, in fact, after Lazard left, it was Sephiroth that became the director of Soldier. Until his eventual betrayal. So it's possible that Sephiroth probably wanted to get information of any other interlopers that could probably stop him. So to get them stopped, Suroof has sent Yuffie to a phony mission to get materia, and really it was to kill one of the at least hopefully kill all the Sviets. But that never happened, of course. We know Nero lives, of course. But it was to take out any opposition. So that's why I think it's possible. It could be possible within the 10 years that Sephiroth is Suroof. And we have not seen Suroof. Maybe part 3 might explain it. But maybe Suroof is dead too. And Sephiroth's playing the part. So that's my theory on it. My conversation. May the crystal be with you. Like and subscribe. Just know I'm going to be on hiatus for a while. Take care of yourself, drink plenty of water, go to the gym.